Electronic sound pop-up.
Hello and welcome. In this episode we will be looking closer into this unit, the Korg Volca Kick. This is an analog kick generator. It can produce, of course, kick sounds. But it can also generate quite cool bass lines. And when I connected this through the MTS1 reverb, something completely unexpected happened. Let's look a bit closer at the practical use cases of this unit. The main sound generator of the Volca Kick is the MS-20 resonator. So basically what you can set is the pitch, which is basically then setting the oscillating, the resonance frequency. And you can then also use bend, creating a sweep from a high frequency to a low frequency. And what you then can do is decrease the time of the sweep. And by reducing this, you get a kick sound. Then you can alter the drive, which is actually like creating almost like a distortion if you put more drive onto the sound. If you then change the decay, you get a longer lasting sound. If you reduce the decay, you get this shorter, snappier drum. What you can use that is quite useful is the motion sequence. You start the motion sequence by having function and motion sequence on. So let's say I create a pattern like this, with all activated. It would sound like this. I can reduce the bend. Then I can put accent on every fourth. Then I can do, and this takes a bit of practice, I can start a motion sequence and then only record every fourth note as a higher bend value. So now let's try and use this technique in our first jam, where we will use Volca Kick bassline and kick sound as the base of a Psy-trance mix. Okay, cool. I think it did the job quite well. Let's now also try to use the Volca Kick as more of a regular monosynth and create some sounds that are more mid and high tone and see how it can handle that. So what I've done now is I've connected through MIDI to the Korg Volca Kick, which means I can then basically play on this keyboard. What I've done is also I've set the time and the bend parameter to 0, which will create a pure note. And also I can increase the decay and also then use the quite nice portamento. I can also reduce the decay to have a more short. I've connected now the Korg Volca Kick through the MTS1 reverb. So now I will start the reverb, and now we get a much richer sound. So I would say it's a nice tone, it's a nice sound also for higher and medium tones. And of course you can increase the bend and the time and have the classic disco effects. So let's do a quick jam now and use these settings and create a dreamy ambient Volca Kick melody. Enjoy. And I also made a very surprising discovery when I did my research before this episode. Okay, let's see how many VCOs do we have. What? There is no voltage control oscillator in the Volca Kick. There is only a self-resonating voltage control filter. And I actually had to do some research now and learn something new. So here's my attempt to explain what is a self-oscillating voltage control filter. The most common setup you would have for a synthesizer is that you first have a VCO or a voltage control oscillator that creates some kind of a waveform like a sawtooth, a square wave or a sinus. Then you would apply a number of different operators such as voltage control filters, low frequency oscillators or envelopes to change the sound and give it different characteristics. What is done in the Volca Kick is that there is no VCO. Instead, there is something called a self-oscillating voltage control filter or a self-oscillating VCF. So if you take then a voltage control filter that has a very high resonance, meaning that it amplifies a single frequency quite a lot. And this particular VCF in the Volca Kick is quite similar to a voltage control filter from a synthesizer called Korg MS-20. And this filter has the characteristics that it can be positive feedback loop, meaning that basically the signal will go back through the filter an infinite number of times. Any static background noise will quickly amplify to the maximum capacity of the operational amplifier in the circuit, meaning that almost a single frequency will be singled out and amplified. This initial signal will be very close to a sinus wave. However, then a number of harmonics will also pass the filter. These harmonics will then add up and create something that looks quite similar to this picture, and it will sound like this. And this is the actual sound that is created by the Korg Volca Kick. And apparently this is a quite good sound for different drum sounds in synthesizers, specifically drum sounds of the kick type. So that's how it's done. So that was it for this time. I hope you enjoyed watching this just as much as I enjoyed recording it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And also feel free to like and comment. If you have any suggestions or any questions, just write them in the comments and I'll try and answer them all. And until next time, ta-ta!